Wait till they birthday. No, I'm just talking videos. Yeah, you can pop out. I need to know what you call it. Sorry, you guys. Okay, so look at me late to my own live, which you guys know never happens. Okay, I have everything monetized and ready. How are you guys? Welcome, welcome. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm going to try to go live on my Facebook and my YouTube channel. Okay. Hold on, y'all, because, well, it doesn't look that bad. I just don't like how the net is like swallowing me a little bit, you know? What is up, family? Welcome, tribe. I missed you guys on YouTube. I know I haven't really been going live that much. And then I thought I went live. I'm so sorry, you guys. On my channel, I thought that I was going live the whole time. I was just live on Facebook. Oh my God. I was wondering, I was like, where's my peoples? Like, I was live for like 45 minutes yesterday, and it was not even where I thought I was live at. It's crazy. Let me log into my Facebook. Welcome, you guys. What is up? We're going to talk about life in between lives. I'm going to share one of my sessions with you guys. For those of you who do not know, I am an MDR specialist. That stands for multidimensional regression. It's a term that I created myself. And amongst other things, you guys already know I'm a painless birth worker and other things like that. But as far as like this subject today, I'm an intuitive coach, and I take people into other lives. I take them into first unlocking their what we think is forgotten memories. And then we go into their mother's womb. They experience this amazing time inside of their mother's womb. And then we go into whatever significant life that that is affecting them in this particular one. And then we go into our soul summary, which is where we meet with our soul team. And the last part is what we're going to focus on today. Maybe I'll do the whole thing and then I'll do like backwards. Like today we'll focus on the last part that actually happens during the MDR session. Let me try to go to my videos. I'm so sorry, you guys, if you comment and I don't see you right away. That don't mean don't comment. Comment, okay? But sometimes it just doesn't come up right away because I'm streaming on both platforms. So on my Facebook, if you know my Facebook name, that means that you're just supposed to know my Facebook name, and then that's what it is. I don't give out my Facebook name. Ooh, could y'all even hear me? Because my microphone I didn't even have in my hand. And then my YouTube channel. I'm live right now on my YouTube channel at daylightsoul.com. So welcome. At least I think I'm on my YouTube. I'm supposed to be this time. So welcome, you guys. Right. So let me start off by sharing. Let's talk about real quick what the life in between lives even is. Like, what is a life in between life? So the life in between life or lives, I mean, that's the correct way to say it. The life in between lives is basically is exactly what it sounds like. It's the time frame, the period. I don't know what some people call it. If you guys ever watch like people's NDE stories, near death experiences, there's thousands of people a year that have near death experiences, and they always talk about this space in between. I can't remember what they call it though. I don't know why this is not coming to me because I knew this word. But if you ever watch any of those videos, then you'll see children elders, like in all different walks and shapes of life, speaking about their NDE, their near death experience, and how they went into this space that was not an actual like living out a life, but it was just this space. And in this space, they met with their counsel, with their soul team. So that is the space that we're going to focus on today, at least the gist of it. Um, Let me backtrack real quick. If you watch a video on my channel, let me see what the name of this video is so that you can go right to it if you're interested. It's a story time that I did. Sorry. Sorry. The story time of this video, this is all going to make sense in just a minute, okay? Come. The story time. What is this story? This was okay. This is my unexpected meeting with God. Okay, my unexpected meeting with God. It's that one down there. This is when I tell the story. This amazing freaking story of me in 2014 or 15, when my guides literally told me to go to New Mexico to meet with them. I tell the whole story. It's such a captivating story. Like I'm blown away by it myself. I don't know how I hadn't told it before. But it's just this story about how I ended up speaking with my guides, or they ended up speaking with me and telling me to take my children and my husband at the time to New Mexico. Like, we didn't have no money. He had just lost his job. We were having to leave from LA. I'm not going to tell the whole story because you got to go watch it. It's a whole thing. But it's so amazing the way I went to New Mexico, y'all, like a crazy person. The same thing I did to get here to Senegal, listening to my guides. This is why when some of y'all be like, she's crazy, I'm not offended. Like, I don't argue with that. You got to be a little crazy. Like, any of my psychics and intuitives and readers, and those of you who like your grandmothers and your mothers who see who have dreams and they come into real life and you actually believe them, you got to be a little crazy for this, because we don't live in a society where this is a normal thing. So you have to be a little crazy for you to even believe that you are in fact hearing those people's thoughts, or you are reading this person, or whatever the thing is. So it is what it is. I totally agree. I'm a little crazy, because that's crazy. For me, I'm talking about, y'all, we did not have much money at all. We were not supposed to be stopping in New Mexico. And technically we really were. It was crazy. And we ended up stopping there, and I ended up having this experience that all of my clients have when we get to the soul summary, the same experience that the NDE stories have when they are in this space in between. And it's basically just the space, again, where you meet your soul team. And I tell the story in my story time about how it was meeting my soul team. And it was like this party. And it was like, I'd never heard of anyone's near-death experience. I didn't I didn't even know that people were having near-death experience stories until like a year ago, like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I'll say. I just never really watched them until like a year ago. But I had no clue that what I had experienced was the same exact thing that people experience in their NDEs, and then also that all my clients experience. So it definitely is not something that was just like, we're not all paid actors, like we're not all just crazily imagining the same thing or thing. And it was just this meeting with my team. They were just so happy. I was so happy. It wasn't like my soul. It wasn't like this self that I'm speaking from. It was like a different self, but it was myself. It was like a higher self. And the higher self was very aware with the fact that this was really temporary. And it was just like, oh my goodness, like, yo, what's up? Like, and we just had a whole thing. I don't want to give the story away because I want y'all to watch it. But that same thing happens during these MDR sessions, these multi-dimensional regressional sessions that I do. And I'm going to just briefly tell the story about someone that I did that really touched me. Everything is so divine, you guys. This is the only client I've had so far that we ended up having so much contrast in getting the session done. I knew this was going to be special for her because it was really strange the way that like we tried to do it the first time, and she ended up doing it in a house that wasn't hers, so the signal was really bad. So it was like we can't do with the session when the signal was bad. I'm like, do you have bad signal? She's like, yeah, it's really bad here. I'm like, yeah, we can't do this. So we had to get off from there. The next time I was actually taking her under and we were going, and then all of a sudden her voice started going out, like her voice just started going out and I couldn't really hear her. It was so random. So as even though she was seeing things and she was experiencing things, I had to pull her out because I can't sit with you for, however long the session is going to be, 2 hours or longer, and I can't really hear you. I don't like having to ask my clients when they're under in this state, like, what'd you say? What'd you say? Like it kills the vibe. So I ended up taking her out for that. We tried a third time and her kids interrupted. That happened actually twice. So this is like, oh my God, like, and she was just like, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your patience. Oh my God. But my patience comes from me being trained by source to do this work. If I haven't learned anything else, I've learned that everything really happens the way it is supposed to. We are getting upset about things not happening the way that we planned it and the way that we envisioned it. But there's a whole nother thing. That's just not the timeline for that. That's just not the time and the space. So I have to live by this because my life has shown me this too many times. It would be like impossible for me not to go off of that. So I really was just like, okay, whatever. Anyways, we end up doing the session. I didn't start her off like I normally do, where we go into these forgotten memories and we go down to the memory of you being aged, from like your 20s to your, depending on how old you are, to your teenage years, and then 5 years old, 1 years old. We had already did that on the other session. So I wasn't about to do all that again. I was like, girl, we're going to take you right in here because this is amazing how much time this is taking. So we went straight there. And what's really cool about this is that because when her child interrupted her the last time, she started to go, like we were going into the past life. Like I was like, let's go. Like we're here now. Look around and tell me what you see. If you guys watch the videos, that's what I say. She was beginning to describe to me this same place that she ended up going to and having the full experience in, which was just so cool because it just shows you that this is what your subconscious wants to bring up. When you slow your brain waves down and you calm your body down and you take yourself into theta mode. Where's my chart at? I need to have my chart on deck so I could just show y'all my brain chart. But when you do this, and it's opening up your intuition, this is the dream world and all of this, you literally begin to have the experience of what your subconscious wants you to have. It's no longer you in the driver's seat. That is if you allow yourself to let go. So the fact that she went into the life that she was going to go in a week prior, and she ended up really doing it. It's like that's what her subconscious wanted her to see. And I'm going to share the video of this session, so I'm not going to spoil everything. But it was a really amazing past life. She only needed one. Sometimes if I feel like you didn't get what you were supposed to get, then I'll go into another life. But this one was very clear that this is what she was supposed to get. And so what ended up happening, okay, again, talking about the life in between lives. When you do the life in between lives, or I should call this the gate. So when you get to the gate, right? In the near death experiences, when you hear people talk about how they died for a couple of minutes or whatever, and they go into this, it's not a real gate. It's just called a gate because for humans that's easier for us to, but you're not like waiting at a gate or anything. But you're in between this space. And when you get into in between this space, this is the time when your counsel and your soul team is present. And you're able to ask them any questions. You're able to get confirmation. They'll show you things if that's what they want to do. Sometimes we need other imagery and stuff like that to help us to like really process what they're trying to give us basically. And so when this happens and we get to this state of them, they go through their death experience, and then their soul takes them up. And by this time, if you're watching my videos, then you can see, if it's the videos where I show this part, you can see that source takes over. It's your guides and it's your ancestors from here, which is so amazing. It's good for me because I can I'm like chilling now. Like I'm chilling the whole time, but I'm really chilling now because I really don't know. Like I'm not guiding you anymore. At this point, there's no guiding from me. It's just guiding from source. And so after they go through their death, I try to keep them in the room. I want you to stay in the room because after we die, we either hover over our bodies on the ceiling or we're in the corner. If you watch anybody's near-death experiences, I don't know why they call it near death when a person, some of them are actually people that died for real for a few moments, but it's the same thing. Okay, no one's telling it's not anything different when it comes to this portion of it, right? So we're dying, we're hovering over our body. I like to keep you in the room at this point so that we can go over what your life was like and ask some more things now that you're in a soul state. So you're in that know all be all state. This girl, her guides was like, we're not even going to go over it. Not only that, but and you guys are going to see this in the video, but there was a moment of her talking about her heart being hardened. And this is also going to show you guys, without me fully explaining about it, what is the purpose of these sessions. I think a lot of people don't even understand what the purpose of going into your past life is. This is going to show you that. And then briefly stating, there are things that affect you in this life that come from other lives. And these are things that doctors like Michael Newton and Bruce Goldberg, who were actual like literal doctors, discovered these things on an accident, like myself, not actually seeking this, like myself, not even believing in this, like myself. A lot of people start this work just like that. So I'm giving these details so that it kind of shakes any of the like, is this real, yada 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 thing. So anyways, so you are, oh yes, thank you for tuning in, Lion Judah. So okay, yeah, so you're having this experience. I want to keep you in the room so that we go over the thing, right? Go over your whole process of your life. I noticed that they did not want her to focus on why her heart had been hardened. Normally, I would just ask them, what was the reason? And then they would just go through the reason. They would probably show them glimpses of it, but we would be able to really know how this person got like this. I feel like the guides were just like, mm-mm. And I'm going to reveal you will see in the session why they ended up saying it's just too much information for her. We're not even going to go into those details. She just needs to know that her heart is hardened. Like literally, that's just it. And so they end up taking her up. I wanted her to stay in the room so we can go over it. And she was just like, I'm going up. Like, hey, like, it's out of my control. So I was like, okay, this is where they want to take you. And so, let me go back. This is a sister whose husband had passed away a few years ago. So her husband had passed away a few years ago. She had been diagnosed with like ADHD and whatever other attention thing. So she really felt like she wasn't going to be able to do this. And she also was connecting her attention, issues with her not being able to fully see her husband in her dreams, because she said that he would come to her for all these years since he had passed away. He would come to her in her dreams, but she would never see him. She would just feel his presence. And if it would try to make out his body, it would never be his full body. Or if she tried to see his face, it would never be his full face. And so this was a thing for her. It was frustrating for her. And so we go into this playing field where she's supposed to keep going up. And normally after this, I'm not going to give it away, but you see certain things, and you feel this bliss. I always know when a person is in this state because I'll ask them how they feel, and you'll just feel like this unconditional love take over you. It's just this bliss and this happiness. It's the same thing that people describe when they have their near-death experiences. It's just really like Source is just taking you through, I mean, going through your body and covering you, and you just feel this unconditional is not even the word. You just feel this love and this bliss, right? So she is in that space, but then nothing is happening. It's just dark. So we kind of stay there for a second because I'm just like, dang, like normally they wouldn't let you get this far. You know, you don't go this far and then it's just like, okay. And they took her up. So I didn't even want her to go up and they took her up. So I'm like, why would y'all, you know, what are we here for? But then there's like no reason, right? So so what ended up happening? I ended up tapping in myself. I haven't done this before. I speak to everyone's guides before we start the session, but during the session, if I needed their help, I never had to think about it. They would just come and they would, you know, come through. Come in. Look at that. Look how I said come through and then somebody knocked on my door to bring me food. Yes, please. But not with the sauce in there. What'd you say?
I said, oh, that's fine. It's game dog.
You sound like an African. Like, oh, it's okay. It's better. Okay, thank you so much.
You're lazy. You're welcome.
I don't think you guys need Daisy. Mm-mm.
Aww.
Get in the shower.
I already did.
You did? Okay, good. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, so then what ended up taking place is that she ended up not seeing anything. And then I was just like, okay, so let me tap in. Hey, Titus. My bad, y'all. Titus. I was like, so let me tap in and ask my guides and her guides for assistance. That's what I was saying. Move the curtain thing and shut the door.
Move it up like this?
No, just it was in the way.
Oh,
okay. Mm-hmm. I was saying how she was there but not seeing anything, and so then I needed to tap in and ask them for help. So I was saying how I normally don't have to ask for help. They normally just come through if I need help. I normally don't even need help, but that has happened before. So this time she's in this state and she's just seeing blank and nothing is coming through. She's seeing black. And so I'm like, okay, let me tap in. Let me ask them, you know, are we supposed to go forward? What is the purpose of us being here? And can I get some assistance? Because she's here and I know I can feel how bad she wants to see her husband. If you guys are just tuning in, I'm telling a MDR session, one of my sessions with a client, and I'm talking about life in between lives. And I'm just telling how this was a sister whose husband had passed away. And she really wanted to see him. He was coming to her in dreams and she wasn't able to see him fully. So we're here in this state. Nothing is happening. I speak to her guys and I tell her, and they tell me that they're going to come and assist. So I tell her, like, you know, they're coming. You should see something coming up. Just let me know whenever they come. She was so much in the moment that she didn't tell me this until afterwards. And you'll see this in the video, but they came and they greeted her. They kissed her. They gave her all this love, the same thing that all the guys do when they come through. And she went into the home where she last lived with her husband, but then nothing really came up. So I, you know, got my confirmation to go ahead and allow for her to be, you know, led out of this session because I don't force anything. So I'm like, okay, if this is not what we're supposed to do right now, then that's perfectly fine. Anytime that a person gets to this level, and it's very rare, it's like less than 1%. If you are not to go through and speak to your counsel, it's normally two things. It's normally because you either have some things that you need to work on. You have no idea what these things are. Don't try to like create the things yourself. Like, oh, well, I do got to work on that. You have no idea what it is that you need to work on in order for your soul team to speak with you. It could be nothing at all. That's my point of saying that. It's not like a 3D thing. It wouldn't be what you think it is. They know that. They as in source. And then the other thing would be if you are going to make some decisions that surrounding around some things that might be revealed. Like if in this timeline you have some decisions that need to be made and they don't want to like reveal certain things to you. So these are the two reasons why if you get to that gate, that soul gate where you meet your team and they end up not allowing you to go through and ask your questions, very rarely does this happen. But if that happens, those are the two reasons. Okay. So we're here. Nothing is happening. I get the confirmation and take her out, and I start to take her out. And as I'm counting her out, her husband shows up. He shows up. And not only is she able to fully see him for the first time in years, that he's been coming to her in these dreams that she hasn't been able to see, not even his arm or anything. She could just feel him, right? Not only is she able to see him while she's, leaving this state, but she is able to hug him and she's able to hear his laugh. She literally was able to hear his laugh and to hug him. And this is everything, guys. This is why I do this work. There's literally a million things that you would get from this because it's a whole journey. But for her particular journey, this is what it was for. And she really wanted to, it was frustrating for her to not be able to see her husband. And she knew that he was trying to come to her. And he also, before she left out of that state, he also showed her, he made her remember dreams that she thought she had forgotten. And he showed her the dreams as in telling her, these are the dreams that I'm trying to use to speak with you. These are the dreams that I've been trying to use to speak with you. And she's telling me, like, before I started counting her out, she's like, I'm seeing memories. She's like, he's showing me memories of the dreams that I think that I forgot, but I didn't forget them. And he's showing me that this is how he's been trying to speak with me. And I tell you guys all the time that one of the most important things for meditating and for doing this kind of work is to quiet the chatter in your brain, because your guides want to speak with you. A lot of you guys have loved ones who have passed away. A lot of you guys have galactic guides that aren't even from this planet, and they want to speak with you. They want to communicate with you. But there's so much chatter going on. There's so much like overthinking. If you know that you're like an overthinker, if you have a lot of trauma that you haven't released, if you're holding on to things and it's just always replaying in your mind, those kind of things are usually an indicator that you might have some blockages where they can't get through to you. So I love this story because it just shows you the power in going into this state of mind and opening yourself, stretching your subconscious to where you're on the right side of your brain. So everything is open. This is your intuition. So even though they can't even get to you sometimes in a dream because you're not remembering your dreams and you're not connecting with how powerful a dream is, doing this will still be able to take you there and be able to have that experience that's needed to connect you more with what you're doing now, with the dreams that you're having and whatever's, showing up in your day to day. And that's powerful. I just love that. I just love that so much. Okay, y'all. I hope that you're not leaving comments that I can't see. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry if you're commenting and I'm not responding on Facebook, because I have to look at my phone. So yeah, that is a life in between life when you're in that state and there's no prediction. Like people ask me like, what do I get out of this? I can't even tell you what you're going to get. It's not up to me. I can tell you some of the things that happen. I can tell you like the things that take place during a journey like this, but we're talking about starting back from you going back from 5 years ago to 10 years ago to 20 years ago to, however, depending on how old you are, up until the age 1, like going into your mother's womb, that's an entire journey within itself. There are sometimes traumas and things that come up. I have people say all the time, and if you look at the reviews on my website, you'll see this. People are like, dang, like I thought I healed from that. Like I didn't even realize that that was a thing for me. Yes, it's still a thing. A lot of things are still a thing. And that's why when triggers come up and certain things come up, it shows itself up to us. The subconscious mind is such a super mind that whatever it is that you think that you have forgiven and got rid of, if you focus on certain things, if I take you into this brainwave and I say to you, think about the thoughts that have caused you resentment and anger and frustration, and then allow for a person to come up. And if you're in the state of trusting yourself, the person that you were saying, oh, no, I don't have to heal from that person, that's not a thing. Or even if it's yourself, it will come up if that's what it is. And the emotions that come with that, the feelings that come with that, the memory and things that need to come with that comes up, and you're able to release it. It's powerful stuff. And I just think it's just another level whenever you're going into another brainwave. I mean, not a brainwave, but another life to do that. So let me see what else I wanted to make sure that I didn't forget. I wanted to reference, oh, I did already. I try to make a list so I don't forget things, and then I just end up hitting it so fast that, yeah, I said why you don't get passed. That's it. Y'all let me know if y'all have any questions. This is exactly how my Earth is School lives used to go. I used to just be like flowing and going. Like I'm making a list and I'm checking it off without even realizing it. Let me try to check my videos. Let me try to check the comments on the videos. Yes, let me know if you guys have any questions. I think that maybe I'll maybe I'll do a little series like tomorrow. I'll talk about being in the state of the other lives. Today we talked about being in between the lives. This is also the place where you decide what you're going to do. You choose your body and you choose your brain and things like that. But I haven't taken people into that process, I guess you could say. I just haven't said the words, but I'll probably get into that later. As far as like if I choose to start doing that part. But this is just about meeting with your soul team, asking them any questions. My microphone went dead. And what else I really love about this process in this part is that it's that some of you guys are getting readings, right? Some of you guys go to someone and you might get a reading, or you might have your own intuition that you're using. I hope you are using your own intuition. And you might question it though. You might doubt it. You might not be sure. You might want to get confirmation. This is so amazing because it's you. Like you become the channeler. Because when I ask you to give me a list of questions that you want to know the answer to, and then I take you into this state where the right side of your brain is taking over and your intuition is open, and you go through the journey and you're sitting here with your soul team and you're the one doing the interpretation. If you watch any of the videos, I'm asking you things. I'm asking you, what do you see? What did they say? I'm asking you the questions that you have. How does this person move on from this relationship? How does this person yada, yada, yada? So you're telling me things. So unless you think that you're crazy, you're the one that's giving me the reading for me to record for you to go through later. That's amazing. You become the channel. I don't know what's going on. I'm just being the guide. I'm just being the facilitator. And I'm asking these questions. What happens with this? What do you mean with this? I actually did the most amazing session the other day. It was my cousin. And my aunt came through, my Aunt Denise, who just passed away last year. This is the woman who helped raise me. She was like my first mom. She raised me for like the first half of my life. And oh my God, it was so amazing. I can't wait to share. I'm not editing fast enough. I'm not able to edit fast enough because I have my other videos, but I can't wait to share that video because I got a little choked up. And she was telling us stuff. She was telling us things like, watch out for this and yada, yada, yada. And so these are things that my cousin who grew up in a Christian home is not about to be sitting here making up. Like, I love when people don't believe in this. I didn't believe in it. And until I took my own children into their past lives, I did not believe in it. I know my kids are not lying to me. I know that, like I needed to do that in order for me to really be convinced that this was really a real thing. And I know that it's real because I take people for years now, I've been helping people to split time and experience the other versions of themselves. So why would I not believe this? It's just because we're not taught this. And I'm suspicious. I'm suspicious about everything, y'all. Anything that has to do with like spiritual things and stuff. People think that because I'm so open that I wouldn't question it. But I'm literally questioning it all. Like that's how I live my life. I question it all. I'm so suspicious. So the videos don't do me justice. And then I do this work. Like I'm into the brain. I'm all into the different brain waves and stuff. So I really want to know. Like I'm like, but how and who and where and why and when. And for those of you who even hear me say something about taking my kids into their past lives, they have done it plenty of times. I know a lady whose 8-year-old takes her into past lives. This is something that doctors like Bruce Goldberg has been doing for the last 40 years, Brian Wise, to help children with their autism, to help children that have cerebral palsy. Like open up your world if you want to judge it. You got to open up your world first, because this is not new. Taking people into this brainwave and having them experience healed versions of themselves, having them change their psychotronic energy where they feel more high and they feel love. It's been a thing for so many years. So it's so normal. And my kids love it. We have fun traveling. Yes, absolutely. It's really time travel. I wish I could call it that, but I know that's going to freak people out. So I can't say time travel. I have to say past life regression. But it's so much deeper than that. This is not past life regression. It's really not. It's so much deeper than that. But I wanted to share that story. I think it's such an amazing story, and I'm so grateful. I cannot express my gratitude. Like watching this sister sit here after our session and just have her moment. Like I could just imagine, like she just finally seen and felt her husband, and she heard him. Come on, like that's so amazing. I'm so grateful to be able to facilitate someone with having such an experience. This is so much like on a different playing field. I mean, it shouldn't be though. It's technically right here. It's literally right here, but it's not on a different playing field at all. But it's just something that we don't, it's just so taboo. We don't get to talk about it. We don't get to, a lot of you guys can't even have a dream and talk about how it ended up taking place because it's so taboo. But that's changing. It's changing, guys. If you guys have seen me talk about this shift, I've been talking about this for years, especially the end of last year, going into this year. We are in the middle of this shift, and it is really happening. There are so many things changing, and there's going to be so much of people awakening to this kind of thing. I'm starting to express this to people that never even really heard of it, and they understand it. They're just like, whoa, like that makes sense. Like, I think I thought about that before. Like stuff like that is going to be happening. A lot of you guys are going to be getting downloads. A lot of you guys are going to be getting these messages. You're going to be really questioning yourself over these next like 3 to 5 years. Really the next 3 years for sure. Really the next 6 months. Like that's how fast this is happening. As I'm speaking right now, we're dealing with the second to last lunar eclipse that is all about shifting us into this kind of thing. So literally over the next 6 months, pay attention, because if you have already not been feeling like strange about yourself, if you already have not been like up at certain times in the night, like just feeling like you're feeling something, or like seeing people and meeting people and feeling like you want to express something about them, like something that just almost feels like you're vomiting up information, or maybe it's just all internal when it's just like really having you like spin the block on some thoughts that you didn't even realize were like deeper thoughts. Like, I don't know, like it's so many different levels to this, but it's happening more and more than ever. This is such a time that my soul has been waiting on. Different timelines, our souls like in different lives have been waiting on what is happening now, like what we're going into as we hit the year 2027. It's a big deal, guys. There's no timeline, there's no time in history that mankind has on earth with what we are about to experience. Like even back in like the days when like the Mayans and the Native Americans were really spiritual and really doing their thing. This is next level stuff for us because we have different things now. We have social media, we have technology. Like, it's just going to be different. And so many of our guys want to help us. Yes. So true. I'm feeling it. I love it. I'm telling y'all, I've been talking about this. It's happening. People are messaging me all the time. Like, I'm feeling this. I'm getting emails. Like, I don't really know what's happening. Like, allow me to be your reminder when this is taking place. You are not crazy. You are not crazy. And what my, let me see. Is this a hope or is this a prediction? I don't know. What I am hoping, because I do hope this is the thing for us actually, I'm hoping that we get to the place where we are okay with accepting these kind of things taking place inside of us and allowing ourselves to go through. I mean, I know this is what's going to happen anyway, but just allowing ourselves to learn more about it, to accept it more, to open ourselves up to these gifts. I have a bi-weekly course on my website. What do I even call this? It's like a psychic class. I might have a name for it. I don't even remember. But I created this because I have been in this class with a lady named Pat Longo. If you know who Pat Longo is, she is like the biggest psychic trainer in the US. She's trained a lot of the psychics that are like on TV and doing certain things that you probably have seen. I never went to Pat for psychic training. I did not want Pat's psychic training, but Pat has this secret group that she doesn't even share about that is like this psychic training group. And if she speaks to you and she feels it, she tells you that you need to enter in this group, like on some like real confidential stuff. I didn't even know this existed. Let me, I just let somebody borrow my book, so I can't even show y'all what the book that Pat wrote. But Pat wrote the book, the gifts underneath your anxiety, or the gifts beneath your anxiety. Really powerful book, really important for anyone that might be questioning if they are a channeler or an intuitive or a medium and stuff. You need this book, especially if you deal with anxiety. So Pat has me in this class, and it's a bi-weekly class. This class has played such a big part in the work that I'm doing today. I started like in like March maybe, and I didn't want to do it, y'all. I did not. Pat was like, "You have to come to this class." I'm like, no, that's not. I came to her because I know that she does past life regression, and I didn't know that I was doing that. So I wanted to get confirmation on that. I wanted to get confirmation about me feeling like I didn't need to be trained to do it. That's why I went to Pat, because I knew that she did it. I knew that she had the gift, and she actually helped me through an anxiety attack that I've talked about before that I was having after reading some people. And sorry, y'all, I need to take a drink. Okay. Mm-hmm. My cup tastes like oranges. It's like orange water. And so Pat, I went to her for that because I was like, can I not be trained to do something that I'm already doing? Am I already doing this? Am I? And so she's like, yes, you have been doing this for quite some time. And she's like, absolutely not. Don't go pay somebody to get trained for something that you're already doing. And then she's like, oh, but by the way, you got to come to this class. Your guys have sent you here to me, and you got to do this thing. So anyways, I'm in this class, and it's been months. It's actually been like a month or two since we've been in there. But I did this for months, and there are no Black people in the class. There's a bunch of me being the only Black girl, Chinese people, Indian people, white people, every single ethnicity, everybody except for people who look like me. And now I'm not upset about that. It is what it is. Everything happens how it's supposed to. And what that did is it made me be like, yo, like, this is crazy that we're not in these spaces. This is crazy that when we talk about our spiritual community, our Black spiritual community, what we're normally talking about, and y'all know I love y'all. I love y'all. I love the ancestors. I love where we've come from. I come from a family of Native American women who did nothing but that work. But you guys have seen me share, especially on my YouTube channel, you've seen me share this message before. This is a message from source. It has been coming to me very strongly. It was at least a few years ago, and it still is now. We do so much of like burning the ancestor money and calling on Elegba and the Ephies and setting up the altars and leaving the fried chicken and the alcohol and the cigars out for our ancestors. And all this stuff is great. Like, we needed this. We have been needing this for the last few hundred years to take us in spaces that people who are not aware of this, people who think this is witchcraft and stuff like that, that they don't even realize. Okay, this is the work that like on movies like, what's that movie, that the Hispanic movie? It's not with a C. Is it Cousin? It's not Casamigos. So I don't know what the, no, it's not Casino. Whatever, you know what the movie is. Is it Cantina? I don't know what the movie is, but they're acknowledging their ancestors, okay? They're acknowledging their ancestors. They're doing like the Cinco de Mayo thing. Every culture really has their way of doing this. And so I'm so not bashing this or saying stop doing it. But what I am saying, and what message has been coming to me so strongly, is that it's time for us to expand. It's time for us to go beyond the ancestors whom deal with earthly feelings still, because honestly, that's what you're dealing with when you're like, okay, well, I can't put my grandma with my auntie because they was beefing and they don't like each other, so I can't put their altar at the same altar. Again, nothing wrong with it. That's just what it is. But we're talking about earth-like lower vibrational beings. Not that they're low vibrational, but they are lower than the higher beings that I'm speaking about, that are wanting to come through and assist us on this planet and speak to you and help and guide you. The ones who are like giving you those numbers, all those angel numbers, these are the ones that I'm speaking about. The guides that have not reincarnated. So these are the ones that speak to me. These are the ones that have always spoke to me. It's you, it's us, it's our higher self. But it's not something that is so earthly that requires the ancestor money and the Florida water and the spiritual baths and things like that. I get a lot of messages from people that are like, I think I have this thing on me. I need to do a spiritual bath. And I know that because y'all know that I'm like, I'm always like talking about magic and stuff. And maybe some of you guys are putting me in a category where you might assume that I do that kind of work, but I don't. And I really believe that you don't need to, because you can go inside of your mind. You can go inside of your mind and create brain and heart coherence, which is a real metaphysics thing. And you can change everything. You can make it to where somebody that wants to hex you can't even touch you. Everything is a vibrational thing. You can literally, it's so many, like I'm still a part of a lot of those old groups that are like the Covenants and the other, whatever hoodoo groups and stuff. And I get a lot of information from them. I get a lot of messages, and it's just source coming through saying that, you guys, it is time for us to expand. It is time for us to venture out, to not hold on so much to the ancestors that were enslaved. They are still present. And also to understand that it's not like their whole bodies. It's not like their whole soul body. When you're talking about your grandmother who you're seeing at night, or whenever, she's in the car with you, or you're feeling her, or whatever the thing is, your loved one, you're not talking about their whole soul. You're talking about an expansion of their soul. Your soul is infinite. It is multidimensional. It is not just doing one one, it's not big, this big thing cramped up in this one timeline and this one space until it's over for all of those years and things. That's not what's happening. Right now on this playing field, while you're here watching this video, you have a very little bitty tiny part of your soul that is here. Other expansions of your soul is doing other things. They're doing other things in this timeline, in other timelines, and that's why deja vu exists. That's what deja vu is. When we say like, wow, like this feels so familiar, like this thing happened. I know this thing. What do you think that is? You think it's just like a glitch in the matrix? Like what have we been thinking? And this is something that I knew when I was, I don't know, like 12, 13 years old. I understood fully. A lot of you guys who are highly intuitive, you got deja vu all the time. Like deja vu was like a weekly or monthly thing for you. It was an all the time occurrence. A lot of children experience deja vu all the time because of the brainwave that they normally are on. So it's just one of those things, guys. It's just one of those things. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to try to tap in and make sure I'm not missing. Make sure I'm not missing any, what you call it? Any comments. Okay, yeah. My Facebook is not showing me my video. So yes, I'm really sorry. I don't know why it's doing that, but I can't see anything if you're saying something. It'll like come up after I'm done and then I'll have to respond. So yes, guys, it is a thing. You are more than just a thing. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you are enjoying this live, please hit that thumbs up button. Let YouTube, let Facebook know. I'm thinking that I have my microphone still and I don't, so I hope you can hear me good. Please hit the thumbs up, share it if you feel like this is a live that other people can benefit from. Then share this live. Also, if you would like a session, you can go to earthisschool.com and you can go through my services. I offer intuitive coaching and one-on-one. And oh, that's my point. This is my point, guys, of even saying that. My bad. It is because I have created this group. I have created this group to train you and to show you how to read people, because a lot of you guys just need a space where you're reading each other. And let me rephrase this too. I'm not really training you in this group, in this course. I'm not really training you. I'm creating the space for you to train yourself, and I'm giving you the tools and the knowledge. But you're literally going to be reading people. If you go to my website, I forgot what it was called. It's at the very bottom, and it's under like community services, like group services. And you're going to see these courses where I'm literally creating this space for you to read people, to I'm going to place you in these groups one-on-one. Like you'll be in certain rooms in the Zoom, and you're going to read them. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's not. And what it's going to do is it's going to stretch your psychic tree. It's going to stretch your mediumship, your ability to see, to hear, to feel. And it's not for you to start being a reader. It doesn't mean like, oh my God, I'm going to be a psychic. It's just about tapping you into your intuition. Whether you guys like it or not, this is where we're headed. So this, you might resonate with this, and you might be saying, oh my God, yes, this is exactly what I wanted. Or you might be saying, this girl is crazy. I can't believe she's even saying this. Both are accurate. Both are okay. I am perfectly fine with both of them. But I am here to tell you, okay, it is happening. It is taking place, whether you agree, whether you like it or not. And it's happening quickly, guys. It's going to happen so fast. The way that we are going to catapult into, you're going to be hearing people that from all walks of different life, all types of different religious beliefs, that are going to be like, I think extraterrestrials are contacting me. What did I just say? Like, that's how, this is what you're going to be seeing. You're going to be seeing children talking about it. Young children are going to be really like outing the mouths of babes for us. Yes. Multifaceted said, sounds good. Okay, guys, I hope you like this live. I hope that you enjoyed this. Hope you enjoyed this story time. Oh, I do have a meditation tomorrow that I completely forgot about. I have an activation meditation for this eclipse. We have an eclipse happening today and tomorrow. We did a meditation this morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern time, and it was so amazing. Tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern time, we're doing the second one. This is a totally different one. And but it's for the activation of this eclipse. So if you are interested in that, then just email me, inbox me. It doesn't really matter how you reach out, just reach out. It's $22 and it's powerful. All right. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Until next time, peace out.